You are watching the ECG Golf Club, US PGA Fantasy Draft. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. Let's head back to the ECG studio and join the guys.
Hey there, sports fans. Ashman here. Welcome to the ECG Golf Club's podcast and our fantasy draft of the Valhalla 2024 PGA Championship. Joining me, as always, down below on the Brady Bunch grid, we've got Zook. Brother, how are you, mate?
Travelling well, Ash. Travelling well. Great to be here.
Great to see you again, man. It's been a couple of weeks. I've been resting, relaxing. And also joining us, our good friend from Discount Golf Balls, Tim. How you going, Tim?
Hey, everybody. How you going? Happy to be here. Excited to be back for you.
Yeah, man. You did well in the US Masters Fantasy. Let's not forget who won the first competition we had and won the orange high-vis vest. That was Zook. And I think coming second was actually Tim. So I came dead last. I got a lot to prove, and I got a lot to prove with my strategy with my picks this week. But Chris, over to you, brother. What's all this about? Explain.
Well, as always, it's first and foremost it's fun, but really just a way for us, I guess, as a collective to talk about the event and provide our listeners with a bit of a preview through the draft process. In terms of the draft, I thought it might be opportunistic to mix things up so that each major we have things slightly differently. So in this draft, I think we will go with let's pick 5. No, let's make it 6, seeing there's only 3 of us.
Yeah, cool.
Pick 6, no restrictions. So the whole board is your oyster. Once someone's off the board, obviously, they are no longer selectable. And then from a scoring perspective, what we might do is just have best 4. So at the end of the day, the lowest...
Bit like a live vibe?
Bit of a live vibe. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So your best 4 will contribute to your score at the end of each round. So
I would love to have had best 3 or 4 in the Masters. I think that DJ did me in for the win there.
Yeah.
The only other stipulation I had was perhaps let's just go in reverse order from our
good idea.
place at last event. So that would mean Ash, you would have first pick, Tim would have second. Third. So.
All right.
Nice. Okay.
I'm
Cool.
excited.
Cool. Obviously, the entry list is finalised. And I've got it down on the screen you'll see on the bottom right-hand side if you're watching on YouTube or Spotify. If you're listening to us, we'll bear that in mind and we'll explain verbally for you. Obviously, don't forget to like and subscribe our channel. Every Thursday, we have our full podcast. And then I'm hoping Tim can come back tomorrow because I want to pick your brain on ball compression rates and some things like that in the coming weeks. And I want... Yeah, I'd love to have you there. I think you've even written a small book there on golf balls, I believe.
I have. Enough to give me the ability to say I literally wrote the book on this.
Yeah, nice. Yeah.
It's not a great book. Not many people have read it, but it's true nonetheless.
Yeah. Before we start going, though, Chris, Zook, a couple of months ago, we had your friend Mitch come on the show, who was one of the Australian Golf Digest Top 100 course, what do you call it, voters? Is that what they're called?
He is a voter and contributes to that biannual survey that they have.
Yeah, the voting panel. And I excitedly saw the entry you can actually apply, Chris, to become, and it's in this month's magazine.
Taking the plunge?
Mate, I can't afford that, my friend. But with the kids and whatnot. But I just thought I'd put it out there. It might be worth you having a crack at it, man.
We'll see.
Yeah, cool. Anyway, let's get the ball rolling, Chris. I will let you lead this, and I'll just ride along.
Sure. Perhaps we might, before we dive in, maybe have a bit of a chat about the course. In terms of Valhalla itself, obviously very different to Augusta. It's had some modifications recently as well, like Augusta increasing its length. I think it's now over 7,600 yards or thereabouts. The motto of the grounds crew is firm, fast, and fun. So I'm up for that. Hopefully that makes its way into how the course is presented.
Firm, fast, and fun.
They are expecting some rain, and I think having a look at some of the practice rounds, I could see some spectators with umbrellas and the like. So there has been a bit of moisture about. But yeah, it's certainly looking at a as being a bit of a big boy course for those who hit the ball long. There should be some benefit. Tim, your thoughts on the course and how you think it's going to play?
Look, I think the way they set them up with the length now is definitely challenging. Like that over 7,000, 7,500 is just insane. But that being said, now you've got the lofts and the equipment these guys are using. They're hitting 7 irons, 165, 175 meters.
Right.
Them hitting driver 7 iron into a par 4 is now something that, would almost be a par 5 for normal humans. So I think it's just when you get to the longer courses, the guys that are just super consistent ball strikers are going to get the job done. You have to be able to hit 3 irons, 4 irons, 5 irons into greens, not just make up distance.
On that note, Tim, just watching some of these top level in the last month or so, there's not a lot of driver accuracy at the moment. There's some wayward drives, Chris, as well, that I've been watching, especially in Live. So I think the irons off the tee could be a better strategy on this course for a lot of those longer holes.
Well, definitely. In terms of one of the things I noted in the imagery with respect to the practice rounds is the rough. The rough is that they're narrow fairways, and the rough gets long very quickly. So there's no real second cut. It's straight into the rough, and that's going to pose problems. So accuracy will be important, but it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. It's certainly going to be a balancing act. There will be reward for playing long off the tee, given the length. But yes, there's certainly. In terms of the way the course is being curated, they're certainly looking to penalise those that drift wide. So and
it's a harsh penalty with the way the rough is.
I've downloaded the app. I recommend get on it tonight. Each hole has a flyover and it's got the yardage and everything. It's a really good app. Very well done. Cool. It's almost as good as the Masters, I'd say.
Oh, awesome. Why not we kick things off? And as mentioned, in terms of the order, it's going to be Ashman, Tim, and myself. It will be a snake draft fashion. So, Ash, you and I have the back-to-backs, while Tim just has the pick in the middle. So I don't know what works better, but over to you, Ash. You've got the board.
Okay, and, so I got the number 1 draft pick, basically.
You do.
I do. So let's get Howard Stern out with the number 1 pick in the ECG fantasy. I'm going to go with a guy who I think is showing a lot of. He's showing the best he's got at the moment. Brooks Koepka. I'm going to go with Brooks.
Ooh, okay.
I feel like he's peaked there at Live last tournament. And he looks a bit more serious. He's the guy to beat, I reckon. Brooks Koepka is the number 1 pick. I'll bring up his stats.
Sneaky guys that's picked up almost more majors than most people. There's only 4 or 5 people above him, and he's just sort of real quiet, low-key guy. Good pick. I like it.
He has a very interesting record when it comes to wins. He almost has more major wins than he does.
Doesn't he? He just brings his game on the big stage and just doesn't seem engaged in the day.
Yeah,
stuff.
Totally. Well, he's got 3 PGA Championships. He's got the 2023, 2018, and 2019. He's had 11 PGA Championship appearances. He's won it 3 times. World ranking, I don't think you can take that into account at the moment. He's only 34. And I think he's in a bit of a purple patch at the moment. So, cool. Awesome.
Fair enough.
Who's next? I've got to get a pen while you're making a pick because I need to mark mine down.
I think I'm away here. Second pick. Is that correct?
That is.
Yep.
All right. I'm going to take what might be an obvious choice, and much to my dismay, because I don't particularly like him, but he hits the ball long and he's in good form. Rory.
Oh, I thought you'd say that.
Has to be. And I'm going to leave Scheffler for Zook because I know he's going to pick him. Do you a favour there. I'll hand it off to you, Zook, because I know it's the next one out. It has to be. Sure.
It will be the pick, but just touching on Rory, obviously, a return to form at Wells Fargo certainly showed that the long stick was working for him, particularly in that last round. He's certainly definitely going to be tough to beat.
I think
that's a great pick.
Yeah, I don't think there's any argument that he's all class. I think he's probably been too wrapped up in a lot of PR stuff for a little while. And if anybody needed to know he could do it, it was him. And he's come off a win. He's come off like, I remember how to play golf now.
Yeah.
And just at the right time, he's got the length. This course is really going to favour his ability to get the driver down the range. So
yeah, I think the first round he's paired with Adam Scott. As well. There's a trio. He's with Adam Scott.
Can you imagine the slow-mo of watching those two hit golf balls, like the swing tracer? Like, there's never been two more pure swings than those two. Yeah,
very good call. Good call.
That has, all right, if he's with Scott, that has some political intrigue because Rory's trying to get back on the policy board. And he's been denied access on the policy board for a few reasons, which we might touch on later. But in relation to that, he has gained access onto the committee which is negotiating with PIF. So Adam Scott's on the policy board, so there might be some friction there perhaps. But and then I don't know if it's true or not, but there was reports around filing of divorce for Rory as well.
Yeah,
so
I saw that today,
so there's
he might be the inverse of Tiger now. Like, he's get rid of his missus and start hitting golf balls. Who knows? Yeah.
Actually, I've got to correct myself there. It's Adam Scott and Tiger Woods. My bad. Okay. Rory McIlroy's with DJ and Justin Rose, so that's a very good pairing. And that's going to be at 10:15 Australian time, Eastern time tomorrow night. So there you go.
It's a great time. So, look, yes.
Who you got, brother? Who you got?
I've got to go with Scotty. He was the backbone of my my team last time round. One of the things at the moment that I heard recently on another pod was just the fact that he's just a statistical master and marvel at the moment. On the PGA Tour, he leads average scoring on par 3s, par 4s, and par 5s at the moment. So his all-round game is just pretty incredible. So I can't let him go by at the third pick. So baby has arrived. I'm sure there's some distractions and some things that maybe will be taking his focus off golf, but I'm sure once he tees it up, they will be put away and he'll be focused. So looking forward to have Scotty on my team again.
Well done.
Tiger the other day, in reference to Scotty, just to add one short point, and Tiger Woods just said, like, don't let the footwork and the movement fool you. He goes, he is the best ball striker I've ever seen.
Right.
His ball flight is just different. He's a different human. So that's high praise coming from the GOAT.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, good call. I believe I'm the second. Oh no, sorry. Who's next?
I've got fourth, and then Tim's fifth, and then you're sixth and seventh. So you got a little bit of a weight there, Ash.
There's a lot of good players there. Yeah,
there's a lot of good. I guess disregarding world golf rankings and just focusing on those who hit the long ball and potentially could be using more scoring irons on approaches has led me down to Bryson DeChambeau. He showed at the Masters, particularly when the greens were receptive on day one, that he was able to attack the pins. I'm hoping he's able to do something like that here at Valhalla. So I'll take a gamble with the mad scientist and pick up Bryson with my second pick.
Awesome. I think we're going to see a lot of very short irons into greens with Bryson. If that green is hard and fast, it's going to be interesting to see how he can spin and stop that ball on the dance floor. Okay. Awesome. Good point. Good pick. He was my next pick.
Tim, back to you.
All right, I'm going to take a guy that just seems to be in red-hot form. He's always there or thereabouts, which is our friend from the Live Tour, Joaquin Niemann.
Oh, good call. Okay. I got burnt by him at the Masters, so you can have him.
Fair enough. No, but he's
beautiful,
Mr.
Consistency at the moment. Yeah. Still's got my favourite caddy in the game. He did have a bit of a shocker with the Masters, I think. But what a great player. I followed him around Brisbane at the Australian PGA. Followed him for about 6 holes. What a beautiful strike of the ball. Saw him hole in one as well. But good pick, man. I guess it's me now.
Back to back.
I'm going to go with the bull, the raging bull. I'm going to go with John Rahm. So I've got a live powerhouse here. Brooks Koepka, John Rahm. I feel John Rahm, it's all about making the cut. It's all about being very consistent, like you said, Tim, with Joaquin Neiman. I see him in top 5. So in this world of fantasy draft, I learnt from the last mistake. I just want them to be up there in the top tier, and I think John will do that. I think his mentality at the moment might be a little bit off. I think he said something today in a press conference, which he got hammered about.
He still thinks he's on the PGA Tour. That interview did not go well at all.
No, it didn't. It didn't come across very well. And he had this funny look in his eyes, and it just feel like he doesn't quite have it to win. I felt like he was a bit affected by stress or something there, but I think he'll be in the top 10. Anyway, I'm raving a lunatic, right. But I'm a big fan.
So back to you with the 7th pick, Ash.
Me? Oh my God! How good is this? Cam Smith, come on down.
Nice.
Live trio. So I've got Brooks Koepka, I've got John Rahm and Cam Smith. All 3 of these guys live. Cam's can win this. That live tournament in Adelaide, that was some of the best sport I've seen in years. Some of the best Australian highlight sport for males I've seen in years. And it was so good to watch. And the crowds down there were fantastic. I really feel, Chris and Tim, that he's got everything to win this. I'm glad he was still there.
Yeah, I think if given the quality of some of the fields now, like I feel like professional golf is just really hard at the moment. There's been little bits of generations, 2-year stretches where it's like people are dominating and no one's holding a candle to them. I feel like these days, like if you're not really bringing the game, you're done.
And good point, because whether you're playing in Europe or whether you're playing in Asia or you're playing in Australia, talent's very good, very high.
Like you got 15-year-olds now making the cut on the secondary tours in the States. Like there's guys that are just coming for you.
Yeah.
So everybody just seems to be really high quality golfers now, which is amazing. It's awesome to watch.
Yeah, that's right. Love it. All right, who's next? Tim.
Me now, I think. And
who you got?
I'm going to return to a guy that anchored my team and take Ludwig.
Oh, nice.
I hope I took him off someone's list too.
Absolutely.
You're like, damn it. I gave you Scotty. I'm taking Ludwig.
Do you think? Do you think he's going to be one of the best, one of the greats, potentially? He's only young, isn't he?
I always hate to see guys get that label early because I think it just crushes them. Like, it's just let him play golf. Like, he's done so well in his first major appearance. And I think he's going to want to back it up to prove it wasn't a fluke and it wasn't just whatever luck. He's definitely, obviously, can hit the ball well. And he can play well on Sunday.
Yeah. He's 24.
He's definitely got what it takes up top.
No.
The rest will just work itself out for him. So I'm going to take Ludwig for my 3rd pick.
Nice pick. No, there was some talk. He had some issues with his knee, but he was the practice round footage that I was watching. Adidas put something up on there, but he looked to be moving and striking the ball fine. So
Adidas.
So I don't think there's an issue there. So that's a great pick, Tim. So then I've got a back-to-back here. That puts pressure on me to come up with. Yeah,
it does. Pivot from the Oberg loss.
Down the list.
It now gets to the point. Where do I go? Do I go with my heart or do I go with my head? So I probably will go. This is probably somewhere in the middle. I think with this individual, it's really a question of when he will win a major. I think I'm going to go with Victor. Victor Hovland.
Damn, you got me back to Ludwig. He's on my list.
We're swapping.
It's got that Nordic Viking.
Nordic. Yes,
yeah,
that's right.
Nice.
So whether he finds inspiration at Valhalla, given the linkage there. But yeah, as a young buck that showed plenty of promise, and his last 12 months have been pretty remarkable for someone of his age. So I'm hoping that would love to see him win it, but for this purposes, with respect to the draft, really only need him to make it into the top 10 for it to be beneficial. So
that's right.
Victor's on my squad, and then I think this might be a heart pick. It will be a heart pick. One of my favourite players, and again, probably one of the best players without a major going around, Tommy Fleetwood.
Nice. Love that guy.
I'm hoping he can pull it together. Naturally, I'd love for him to win the championship and win, I guess, what you would call his home major. But he's been playing reasonable golf. Certainly started off the season well on the DP tour. Finished reasonably well at the Masters. Kind of closed well. So I'm hoping that form continues here at this major. So Tommy gets a start in my squad.
Cool.
Yeah, he's a good.
Cool.
He seems like a good dude.
Yeah, he does, doesn't he? Is it Tim with his?
It is
Tim's pick.
I think it is. I am going to go with Max Homer.
Oh, I love that bloke too.
I think again, good guy, just grinds it out. He's been in there or thereabouts for a while.
Yeah.
And I just think that these, bigger tournaments allow those guys that are there and thereabouts to just bring the best out of their game and just really knuckle down, focus, get their ball striking. So I'm going to take Max.
I think he came off a very good finish this last week, didn't he? Max Homer had a good finish on the PGA, I believe, last week.
Certainly one of the longer ball hitters, so should work out well. No, nice.
Yeah, pretty consistent too. All right, I'm going to take Jason Day, the Aussie. Still there, looking good these days with his Malbon golf gear. He's setting the trends on fire.
Don't get me started.
Yeah, not your style. I've seen what Tim wears on the golf course too. very bright.
But no, there was a good interview on Fox Sports with I forget the guy's name, the golf guy Warren. Anyway, the name escapes me. But apparently this major, a bit of a different look with Malbon. Not baggy. It's going to be a bit more form fitting and a bit more athletic. So I'm interested to see what that translates into. But we really probably, hopefully, are focusing more on what he does with the club in hand rather than what he walks on the course.
It looks like he has a home as opposed to now, which looks much less.
Cool. All right. So Jason Day, and I get another go, do I?
You do indeed.
Wow. I'm going to take Min Woo Lee, another Aussie.
Ooh, back-to-back Aussies.
Yeah, back-to-back Aussies. And I feel it's just a matter of time. When you said earlier, Tim, it's just a matter of time. I think it's just a matter of time for him. He's a big hitter. He's very big hitter. He's probably, the best part of watching him is off the tee. He's pretty consistent there. You don't often see him hit into the rough too much. Great guy, great Aussie, great character. And then to think I've got Jason Day, Cam Smith, and bloody Min Woo Lee now. So nice stuff. 3 Aussies.
Go Aussie.
All right.
Good pick. I think the distance will work well, but he can be pretty decent as well. He's not spraying it all over the place.
Yeah. When I typed into Chat GPT earlier, who are the top 5 picks? His name came up. So thanks, Chat GPT. Yeah.
Was that your strategy, was it, Ash?
I did try it. I took in all things. Gotta use what you can.
Tim, over to you. Next pick.
All right, I'm just assessing some of the ones that have been stripped off my list here, but I think actually I had him rated highly, and I'm going to take him while I can, is Xander, as we were just saying.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he's got class, he's got wins under the belt, he knows how to do it.
Yeah.
He could be a chance.
Yep. I always have trouble pronouncing his last name.
Schauffele?
Schauffele?
Because
I get tongue-tied with Scheffler, and then you see that come up like, is it Schauffele? Xander Schauffele.
We just call him Xander. It's easier.
Yeah, that's right.
He's been a model of consistency, particularly in majors. He's had 8 straight top 20 finishes in majors.
Beautiful.
So that's what we're looking here for.
I think he's currently like world number 3. He
is. It's one of those things that's just unfortunate timing. He just has been, losing out to Rory and Scotty in tournaments this year that arguably in another period of time he would have easily claimed. So a little bit of victim of circumstance.
Mickelsonitis.
Yes, a little bit of that. But yeah, hopefully, he works out for you. So you're certainly on my board, and we're certainly up next. So that was a little painful for me, Tim. But so I've got a team of 4, and I'm basically making my last 2 picks. So interesting. Where do I go, and what do I do? I guess one of the best rounds of golf that I saw all year was the final round at the Genesis, struck by Hideki. As a result of that, I just for whatever reason I picked him last time, and he let me down. But I'm going to pick him this time round.
Make amends.
Just that clean, crisp iron play hopefully can resurface and he can make a difference. I'll take Hideki, Matsuyama.
Okay. Yep.
And with my final pick, I've
got to say I've managed. I rated all my players in 3 tiers, and pretty happy. I got all mine from the top tier, so it worked out well.
No one's taken Wyndham Clark, have they?
No.
Okay.
No, they haven't.
All right. I'll take that. I think he's had a reasonably strong start to the year, but again, someone who's fallen victim to Scotty and the like throughout the PGA Tour so far. So, Wyndham and Hideki close out my team.
Love it. Awesome. So let's go around and wrap up each person's team before we finish for the evening. My pen and paper is not next to me.
We've got to pick.
We've got to make
our way back, Ash. That's what we're
going to do.
I got 2 more picks.
Okay.
One more.
Have I still got 2 more? Me?
No, 1.
No, just 1.
1 more. Okay, good.
Your last. I am going to take Colin Morikawa.
Nice.
Fun to watch. And still in the top 20 in the world, still obviously a solid golfer. So I'm putting Colin in.
Love it. Cool. I'll take a gamble with one that could be dropped. He's like a sub. Kazuma Kabori, come on down. I made a bold statement in about episode 2 of the Hackers in January, February this year, saying he's going to win a major at some stage. So put your money where your mouth is, Ash. Kazuma Kabori's in the team. The Kiwi, the young Kiwi.
You also said he was going to become one of the great Australian golfers too.
Oh, I did! Just like Russell Crowe and Split Ends.
But fair play to the PGA to giving him an invite. I love it.
Yeah.
It's one of those things. He clearly dominated the Australasian PGA Tour and was setting records that only, in terms of top tens and wins and the like in terms of early in his professional career that were rivaling Tiger. Granted, not on the same stage, but you can only play those who are in front of you. And
exactly.
The fact that the PGA noticed that and have given him an invite, I'm a tip of the cap to them from my end.
100%. Well said.
All right, so that's all the picks. I might just summarise the teams.
Yes, please.
Before we go, so and correct me if I've missed anything. Just in alphabetical order rather than in pick order, just because that's how I've kept them. So with Ash's team, he has Jason Day, Kazuma Kabori, Brooks Koepka, Minwoo Lee, John Rahm, and Cameron Smith.
That's it.
In terms of Tim's squad, he has Ludwig Arberg, Max Homer, Rory McIlroy, Colin Morikawa, Joachim Neiman, and Xander Schauffele.
Mm-hmm.
And in terms of my team, I have Wyndham Clark, Bryson DeChambeau, Tommy Fleetwood, Victor Hovland, Hideki Matsuyama, and Scotty Scheffler.
Some good picks there. I think so. We've got 6 players. We're going to take the best 4 scores. Is that right?
Yep, that's right.
Yep. So and gives us a bit of leeway if someone misses a cut or whatnot. But I am pretty confident everyone's got some really good picks there, boys. Awesome. So we'll have an update tomorrow night or a couple of nights' time. We might run a little quick update, Chris, and put it live on Instagram at ECG Hackers. I appreciate everyone listening to us. Appreciate you taking the time, Tim, and of course Zook for joining us tonight. We'll see you tomorrow night for the full ECG Hackers podcast, 7:30 Australian Eastern Time. Until then, guys, peace out.
You're watching the ECG Golf Club, US PGA Fantasy Draft. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. Let's head back to the